Thank you. Tonight is the Board of Finance's meeting on the Board of Education budget. I must admit, I'm surprised to see everybody here, although I am glad to see everybody. First item on the agenda is public participation. We're trying to record everything, and we need, if anybody watched the last joint meeting we had in this room, you could hear like every other person. So if you want to speak, you can go to that mic. I am going to mention a couple things, though. First, our role tonight is actually to ask the Board of Ed questions. And without getting tomatoes thrown at me, the public hearing and the appropriate time for public input was actually the last public hearing that we had that was warned in this room. So I'd be happy to let the public speak, and then we have a presentation here, but I'm going to ask for a show of hands. How many people came here to say something? Nobody? Seriously? I'm sorry? Well, just to be fair, there isn't a second public participation. It's just, if you have something to say, in the beginning is the time to do that. Okay. How many people? Just out of curiosity for my own edification, how many people here are teachers? Okay. How many people here are from the public and are not teachers? Okay. I'm sorry? Listen, I don't want to, it's okay. I understand. I know a lot of people are residents and teachers. I understand that. All right, so that's fine. If you have something to say, I'll open up public participation now. If you could just come to the mic here, I need your name and address for the record. And please try to make it brief. Yeah. Well, again, it's so everybody knows, the Board of Finance tried to get this publicized, televised, whatever you want to call it, so that everybody could see what goes on in the deliberations. By charter, we're required to have a public hearing. That's really the opportunity for the public to give input. I put public participation on our agenda, and you can imagine we've got from 7 to 9:30 and a presentation by the Board of Ed, so I'm worried about time. We actually added some extra nights for budget deliberation because of the year that we're having, so we do have an extra 2 nights for the Board of Ed and then the budget as a whole. So if you want to say something, please do, but I just ask that you make it short. Again, we're happy to hear you, just keep in mind, what the schedule is and what we're trying to do. So.
Don Ramsey. I teach in the Newtown Public Schools. I live on 3 Prospect Drive in Newtown. Sorry about the lack of political savvy. We don't sometimes understand the intricacies of politics and when to show up and when not to, because we're too busy teaching kids. I came to Newtown professionally after 25 years in Norwalk. That was a very difficult decision, financially and otherwise, to make a change like that late in my career. I kind of look at it like a hot air balloon, because I teach tech ed, so you don't mind if I'm not going to be long, don't worry about that. But I saw a hot air balloon floating over Newtown, the town that I lived in. It had precious cargo in it, like gems. I made a decision to come to Newtown because I wanted the challenge of teaching in a district of this type of caliber. Unfortunately, since coming to Newtown in the last 5-6 years, I've seen people shoot little bullet holes in that canopy. Now, the canopy represents the school system, and the precious cargo, of course, are the kids and the teachers. Now, you can shoot a few bullet holes in a hot air balloon, and that is still going to hover and float pretty nice. I want you to consider this, because I know that you folks up there have a difficult decision to make because you're good stewards of the public money. You're doing the best you can. But you also need to hear the other side of it. So you shoot a few bullet holes through that financially, and that hot air balloon still floats. But I urge you tonight, please don't shoot a cannonball through that canopy. because Janet Robinson submitted a budget as low as she could possibly go and still remain in her own mind ethical. So that I encourage you to weigh in those variables, not just the numbers, folks, but weigh in the variables of what's right for this town. And even numerically, think about that. Property values, if you want to look at it in those terms, that's okay too. But I want you to think about both sides of that issue and make a very careful decision before you consider reducing that budget any further and firing a cannonball in that hot air balloon. So I thank you for allowing me to speak tonight.
Thank you.
My name is Jan English. I am a guidance counselor here at the high school, but I also live in town, 3 Curry Drive in Newtown. And again, I just want to say very briefly that I have 2 concerns. One, I think that, again, the budget as being presented has been very well thought out. I feel that it is bare bones as it is, so I have a very grave concern if more is cut. I feel like we're on bare bones as it is with this budget. 2 things. One, I don't want to presume for the public that they would not accept the budget that's presented by the district. And 2, I feel like sometimes it's a double whammy. We make an assumption that we can't present a budget, so it goes to the public. And I understand that it is one of the few things public can vote on, and so it may be voted down. But if we go to this bare bones, cut even further, and then what if it is voted down and we have to cut further still? Can we really survive? So those are my concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gail Lynch. I live at 72 Mile Hill Road in Newtown, and I'm very proud to live in this town, and I will be brief as well. I'm a little concerned about how it's viewed, the fact that we are all here. We are all here for a purpose, and that is to show our concern for the kids of Newtown. We are not self-serving people as teachers. I teach at Reed Intermediate, and every day I put the best me in front of those kids that I possibly can. And, I know that you guys know that, and I would welcome you to come visit any of our classrooms as well. But I have been reading a little bit in the Bee lately, and I'm really concerned. One of the last headlines was something to the extent of teachers dominate meeting. Well, 3 of us got up and spoke, and honestly, I think maybe about a paragraph worth of speaking. So we're not looking to dominate your meeting. Honestly, you guys have a big job. We understand that. And honestly, I as a taxpayer appreciate that. But I want you to know I've been with this district for a long time, and I don't want to see bit by bit have it pulled apart. Just, because it is hard times, but I think we also have to be clear in our mission here and look to the future as well. So I appreciate all that you do. I appreciate the turnout here. What a town we live in. But I do want you to know that the teachers are here for the kids, not for ourselves. We care about what we do deeply. Thank you.
I'm David Smith from 41 New Levin Road, and I'm the parent of 2 children in the school system and the husband of a teacher in the school system. And, I was not able to attend the last meeting. I was looking at the notes and reports of it in the Bee, and one thing came to mind, especially when looking at the kind of times that we're in and the issues that are faced, is that in a phrase that my father taught me, don't eat the seed corn. We've got in our school system, there's, a lot of things that we can look to with a very hard eye, but we do need to be careful that the things that we look at are not things that are going to come back around in the long run and make it very difficult to get back as times get better. And if we're looking at the education of our kids, then we need to strongly consider what are those things that we need to help make sure that the school system will be